Almost there. Okay, as long as you guys get standing, I know you're not ready to come to me this morning. It's not time to kill me. 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's go. One final plank. No more planks after this. Short.
It's 8 for you.
Oh, I can't win. I almost got one out of half. 15 seconds. You've got it, Tina. Last plank.
They always shrink.
5 seconds.
I will say there was like patches on it.
This you took that one off, right?
Yeah, I don't remember where they were. They were patches that kind of shredded. So I just took a razor and like shaved it. So there's no patch right on the back. Yeah, there was patches everywhere that tore off the first day.
Justin said he like he had the biggest white scar to the shop.
See y'all. Okay, so we're working on takedowns a lot. We'll work on some good entries and the first thing is, we talk a lot about frames. They need to be able to, bear weight, like stop somebody from pushing you, so you maintain your base, your distribution of weight, but also add weight to it, right? So a big thing we do as weight is add weight. Moving in is one really great time to do. Okay, so we're gonna just start with a simple game of takedowns. Okay, so square. Yeah, so look, if he tries to touch the base and grab the key, I'm going to deflect, and what I want to do is hit him and follow my time to bridge the gap. So like right here, if I just try and come in, he can be wise to move, and exactly, he can dictate, right, if I just like he can just that way and grab both, okay? So, what if he comes to grab for my base, I come in for. So we're just gonna crash into an over-under or a side clinch. If he goes here, I'm right there. There's a body lock. Right, over-under body lock is the front clinch. Okay, so one of the ideas here is I deflect, and then I'm like, look for how my weight's going forward. And as I come in, right there. Okay, so here's the thing. In striking, people a lot of times will strike their hands out very quickly. So like that, like we call that trapping, and we're teaching strike the body. Okay, when we're striking that exact thing. But with this, people try and grab you and it doesn't go towards the plan, and then y'all are just on it. Y'all are in this weird phase in between clinching and having control, and other things happening, like what we have establishing. Okay, so when this hand comes in to grab, to touch whatever, yes, and then come in there, yes. Okay, just be heavy on an ass weight with through your base, right? Your ass weight, that'll make your feet lighter so you move around. So that's where I want to Okay. Think about it with your forearm. arm is in your hand. Yeah.
We got the Barbie soundtrack on.
So is that like a stalemate, simply? Or is it that? Okay.
Oh, now.
Okay, now, but I just want to talk what we talked last time. So the basic is just, if he pushes, I just lean into it. Boom. As opposed to not doing this. Okay? Then I can break out. Right? That's if you're late. So force distribution will stop you. Then you can respond. We're going to try and respond at the same time. I see the pushes coming. I can come in, do both side punches, push again. Then, push again. Here. Right? I can come in over the head. And he can come over the head. Okay? So throws, like I don't prefer as much the hip throw here, like grabbing the lat, but it's a thing. Okay? After this exchange, here, you try and grab my head, like a headlock. Boom. I take the back. Okay? If he goes under, well, start pushing. Boom. If he goes under, I'll lean on it. Okay? So, you elbows up. Now, look, I go under. Elbows up. Yeah. Thanks. Wider. Now, I go under. This. Your forearm. Too rigid. Yes. And then just keep leaning, walk around it. Okay, so you can push across, go under slowly. This around, yeah. This. Yeah. Here's that arm. You're trying to get your grip more to the side, right? It's a little easier to break in front or right over there. Okay, so they're either going to go over or under, right? So here, if he goes over, whoa. And then, go again. I got my side clinch entries. I prefer to go under the arm. Go again. However, it does exist to do this. Okay, to go over the head. If you fuck that up.
Just the over one.
Yes. I've had it happen to people in fights. I've had it happen to people in Jiu Jitsu tournaments. Like basically, if I'm going here and he gets his head out, boom, then I gotta start going into this series. Right. So we prefer to not get up. And anytime you grab over the head, that's not always, but you're running it. Okay. So let's off the push events, our elbows come up. You go under to the side clinch. Or they go over, you take their back. Right? Like that's essentially what we're doing, is that what I'm talking about. Right? If they go under, you take their back. That makes sense?
You know, Dave's got a throw off of that. Yeah.
I saw a couple of high tissue throws.
I was really surprised that she's just, it feels like she's dominated in German. Because German's a different game.
Yeah,
you know?
she's just doing MMA.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do it again.
That, to the back?
Alright, we'll do it like you did. We'll do the control and
Which side?
Yes. I'm like, she felt where the fight was taking.
Yeah.
Do that one. Yeah. You just, then it kind of takes, so you're here, it kind of takes this shit. Right. Now I'm going to go on.
Nay? Yeah.
Then you can make it more about your arm on mine. Yes. Right, it's like all of you. I'm like, your whole body is on my arm. I'm like, ah! I was just, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
That can work, right? That's more of like what I would call a side by.
Yeah.
But also, like we've been showing, look, by side by, you can go to that group. And now it's like, who's got who? Right? So, yeah. Oh, I don't like that. Yes. And think about it, go back to the possible push. I'm pushing. Well, I'm actually. It's the face touch thing.
Yeah.
Yes. If I start trying to grab that, if I start trying to go under to touch your face,
there are thrusts here.
yeah, go under to touch your face. You see, it's like, and then too, like I'm just like, we're still, I'm just trying to slowly work, but like, I'm trying to get this, or get you.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like, if I see on
Yeah. That's when you said get my head early, that's what I thought.
yeah, right, so, but, just somebody to be super that weight distribution, like many times, we can get this or we have the grid.
Yes.
We already even have it.
Yes. Yes.
What if I'm pushing, or he's pushing me, but he's trying to go over, I get a little lost. And so then I'm kind of like, yeah, what's that?
So I was telling Brandon, it's really about my arm on their arm. Like when Brandon's doing a good job on like going under part, I can't deal with it. Like I can't do anything. He's got his whole body on my. But it's just like if we get this, like look, now my whole body's on Brandon's arm. And he's dealing with that. Right? And that allows me to dictate going past the back. Right? So if he pushes, if he goes under, say arm on arm. Right? And it's like what we're saying is, I push you. When I start to go under, what am I doing? I'm trying to get a taller grip, or maybe a tie push. So you're stopping that inside my foot. And now he's made my arm cross the center line. He's going to push it back. That's it. Yeah. I can't ever come back to that center line. Right? And then the other one is go here and I try and grab his head. You just take that and you tilt it upwards and walk around. And it just slides off like it's like a roof, right off the roof. Okay? So that is that. Does that answer your question? We also see this, I show this from right here. Let's just go ahead and start working on this. This is something from, I definitely picked this up from Chris Burns at least twice. I'm thinking maybe 3 times. Right? He taught this at Dreams. I've seen him teach it on a video. Like just like the old videos from when he taught in Arizona. And then when in a private lesson, so 3 times I've been exposed to him teaching about this. But then we talked about not wanting to put our hands on the biceps like this, right? If I'm down and I'm playing here, I'm controlling your hips, not pressing against your biceps. If I press against your biceps, you can trap my wrist and wrist lock, right? So we want to hook over the back of the tricep and kind of pull down with the hips. It's the same thing. If he starts trying to go up to get out, I just raise my elbow up. If he starts trying to go under, right there. Okay, and then Lego hands. Here, head over head, and then look, my hips go back to stack him here. Right? Then pinch. If the leg is around your hips, go hand in the back pocket. I see a lot of people mess this up. Hand in the back pocket, steer with your hips. Now here's another Chris Burns metaphor. Right? Lead with the hips, and go like an avalanche. Chest to chest. Right? Because you want to maintain the type of pressure you have while you're passing. A lot of times, modern passers, particularly in the sport, right? And there is disconnection. Right? But that's a Chris Hyder quote. First private lesson I said it. He's just giving a big speech at the time. Very inspirational. And if there's connection, there's disconnection. He had me in Neon Belly and then he stood up. Anyway, but he starts trying to come under, then lean forward on it. That's what puts weight there. Stand back. Right? Like, look, if I disconnect, that's fine. Right? But if I disconnect, I'm going to do a different kind of pass. Right? Like here, I'm already not feeling the knee slide pass. This is a narrowed gap. Add weight. I was just planking on his knees through the grips. Okay? If you feel some disconnection happening, that's a great one to go for. If his legs are a little wider, I might go for a through the legs, like a knee slide. Okay? So I'm down here. He starts coming inside. Trap. As soon as you get this trap, you add that weight over it, stand up, drag back, and we break. Okay, here, I'm going to put my hand in the back pocket. Make sense?
If he goes over to do the Lego hands break, like, you know what I'm saying? We fit down. If we go up, he goes up and he wants to grab your head.
If he goes up, I just go like this.
It's going to be a different pass sound or a different.
Yeah. Like if he goes go up on this. Boom. Right? Can't touch my face. Then he goes under.
I got you. So that's the bait that he's going to end up doing. He doesn't like that.
Yes.
I can't go anywhere over.
You got to go under.
And then too, look, a lot of people, like I was taught this in the beginning. I still teach this, right? But as soon as I got taught this other way, I was like, you mean this, but I get to choke him with the hand? You know, I like this. And then look, because I drug him up on his shoulders, look how easy it is to break his guard. Right? It's like that was a new that I got from this last trip was, you know, the hips back is when a double's not working. It's something we, like knee and center, look. Boom. My hips are back. This was just, as you start to come up, I'm just going to just do this. Right? So, knee and center. My hips are going back. And fingertips. You shouldn't have to rely on this to open a guard. Can it help? Yes. Is there an over-reliance on it? Oh, yes. Right? But it's the same thing. Like when he goes inside and I add this weight and I drag him here. Right?
Here you're doing something with your knees that I don't feel like this is like this. Even when you pass it over.
It's just like it's
Yes.
closed hips. Right? So like look. Open hips. Closed hips.
And then this part, when you get that across that, it's terrible.
Yeah, and then too, so you're gonna back into that. That's why I've got to crash down like an avalanche as I get chest to chest. Just right. Let's work on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1, 2.
When he came,
Hey, Justin's been on him with this type of guard. Bro.
when he got his knees together and passed the leg over, there was no difference in pressure from the time he started until like when he finished. He had the same amount of pressure. It was awesome.
Austin knows he does this to people.
I haven't.
He does this to me.
I tend to create space though, whereas I like this version.
You did. What? So I don't know if you walked up yet, but we were talking. There, sometimes you just get the one I showed you. Just
Yes, that's true. And that, sometimes that happens. It can be a dynamic movement. Explosive.
Well, and they might start trying to sit up. Exactly. Yeah. Stand up.
I went chest forward.
Well, go this hips forward. Like you're gonna like. Really? Yes. Okay. Now keep that. Squeeze your knees. Yeah, and then if you go to stand, now you can kind of relieve it as you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Slight pinch.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, we made this face turn perfect.
Nice.
So like,
Significant
why did we do
difference.
this to his neck? So part of it, I think, is like I think you're like this. So like, as I go to do this, as look, my head's over his head. That unweighted.
I think my hips will. My foot.
So then I transfer the weight from here to here, but I want that out here. And then too, like I'm pushing his neck. And then
That's, I think that's what I
see. So what I was saying to you, Justin, like it look, it almost naturally happens.
Yeah.
That's fully on over.
But hanging the weight on people is different.
So think single under pass, like you're going under the leg, or we're under pass. You're going around the leg. There could be a conceivable knee slide injury for sure. We could drop.
I know we both like that.
Yeah, watch me do this to Howard.
Yeah, he had like one like back of the tricep, so if I went up, he didn't lose it, right?
Oh, you're on. Good.
Right. And you come here. I look at my hips. So like here's kind of how when you get past the do what's happening.
Yeah, you get disconnected for a second.
Did one time I was more than one time probably. I remember training was like to get outside metaphor. And I think
You left my guard open earlier.
this.
Like you didn't open my guard. My guard
No,
was
it was this. It's like it's like an obscene gesture.
I think that every time I'm in the guard.
Yeah, I can't like I was like no, it wasn't this one. It was this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pelvic tilt, we do it all the time. But it is kind of an obscene gesture.
I was hanging my weight on you.
It's hard to explain that to a kid. Like, well, push your belt forward. And it's like,
No, do the
like, it's hard to explain it to kids.
the avalanche. You will not know what that's called.
Single under pass.
See here, that's where I'm telling you, I'm right there with our distance. I had to go back, but
Yeah, hip length. What? When I was standing up on, like, okay. Hey guys, watch here. Couple of things. When you stand up in the guard, it's like I will say a lot of times when I do this, the guard opens. We need we need to be able to think critically about this, even the white belts. You're totally capable. Okay. A lot of times, like if you tell somebody that's learning this stuff, like, hey, there's 5 ways to do this, they're like, oh my god, I quit. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, man, that's a lie. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
But stand up in your guard. You might choose to open your guard. I might create a lot of pressure and it's barely hanging on and I open your guard, or there might be you might just still have a really good guard. Things like the hips back, it makes it harder for you. That's what makes you start hanging on back. So and then too, let's work this one. Okay. He pulls me down.
Yeah.
Look how, like, did you see how I pushed his skull to the mat?
Yeah.
It makes me feel nice when I do it. Right? Job in these. Okay. So
I felt it.
he breaks the posture right here. Now look, when you disconnect off of this, now he's even more uncomfortable. So watch.
Okay.
Did you see it? Like so.
So okay.
If belly or his chest.
My posture.
Well, it can't sort of. You could deduce that, right? Hickson pushes the chest a lot. That's not a unisex friendly technique. So, like, I'm just pushing the belly, whatever. But it's just like coming off of here, you're just right here.
Okay.
But the second thing that we show break the posture, hips drag back, is 2 hands, 1 knee, and then we lean the opposite direction. Right, and then look.
Okay.
Think about chest to chest.
You still kind of did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Think chest to chest.
Okay.
Okay. But so this tank doesn't either. I'm gonna push your torso.
Yep.
Time I did it to Brad. It's just like
yeah, it didn't
fingertips,
take much. Okay.
right? Or I'm gonna go pop
Yes.
and make that a part of your dynamic. Yeah,
Okay.
like that's gonna be like when you're here, pop.
Yeah.
It'll open in a hurry.
Okay.
So look, that gives you some different routes. Like
Yes.
people are gonna hold on to people.
Yes.
You stand up, they're gonna hold on. Heavier people than you are, they're gonna hold on. So you may have to.
Okay. Nice.
All right, let's work on it. One second.
When he put his hand on that, that was awesome.
You go ahead. I'll put you on the line. The nail one.
Could you have kept your guard closed, or that would it really did pop open?
Yes, yes. Cool. Just.
There's still a little bit of disconnection.
That was it.
Falling into that.
I like the movement better there.
I'm gonna be worried. That one felt good.
I don't know why.
You ever seen Austin Power?
I felt like you disconnected. Maybe you did.
I did.
Okay, there you go. Then
I do sometimes.
All 4 of your hips. Because like the result of that is gonna be
Yeah.
right. So just lead with the hip, and it's like imagine you have something to the top of your more just like position, get into position. Right. I'm joking about the power system. Many
I'll
means
try
and
Let's not have it. Do a slow.
okay. Right, but it is you lean forward like you're gonna like I have to put, but the thing that stops me from falling forward is his body.
Like that body lock, where we kind of body lock and then turn them out. That same thing.
Yes.
That's what. Yeah, that's what Chris Burns did.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
Smart. All the this is Chris Burns' class, really.
So,
Other than that, I feel like I did pretty.
Is that why? Yeah. You sit over.
Imagine that.
Did you have to go over?
Well, it was supposed to scramble.
So one thing, remember that hardwood Jackson? Oh, here's some doctor.
Okay.
Oh, that was nice.
Okay. So you're doing a windshield lock. Yeah. So like before I want to think chest to chest. No, I was deciding that.
Okay. And then you're just okay.
their bodies.
I like that.
Yeah, but
Well, like the last time he did it, I was like, okay, I can move,
like
but
that.
he's
Yep.
drilling. But then next time I was like, I can't.
but
Okay.
so I've just been thinking about this like diagonal control a lot.
I like that.
Because if I am past your hips, or if I'm like doing that wishboning of your hips, you can't really respond
Yeah.
as I'm clearing your hip line. So you can kind of just go straight to upper body control towards the chest, chest to chest.
Nice.
Okay.
Whatsoever.
Keep that, chest to chest. And then just, feel that, you have that tension in the hips.
Yeah.
So the back step wasn't necessary.
Yes, I like that a lot better. I've never, to Hickson's point, man, I will say when I backstep, people bit of a scream.
I thought
so.
I've been
I'm so
burned on
why-
it dozens.
Yeah, same. So like,
I
if
thought I could have gone belly down on you.
you
right?
could.
The holes are still there
it was,
for it.
you kind of, we were
Well,
training, but it's
But
like, yeah,
yeah,
that
there
was
was
there.
space there for it.
So I,
And the way I use the back step anymore, it's more of like a,
okay, just to clear something.
like put me in
But
extra guard.
you keep that.
It's like some half guard stuff mainly, right? But so here from if I try and just go like kind of the way we do it.
Yeah, it's never gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want, right? That's it. But if I just stop and I go disconnect. Okay, fine. Alright, so but the same thing when I'm passing half guard. Like the shin in pass. Here, hop down real quick. Same thing. But it's like a high, it's not, I'm not displacing a bunch of weight off of you. So what I'm saying is we'll do something like here. Right? And boom, boom. Right? So
Never
instead of,
really, yeah. I like that.
but here's the thing. Do people back step at the highest level all the time? For sure. But when you do that stuff you were doing before, you had like maintain pressure and connection as you were passing. His hips were immobile. So like Donna heard, like, oh, you gotta fight all these battles, the feet, the knees, the hips. Then once you do that, you can start establishing a pin. But like, what if you defeat all that at once? If I'm planking on your knees and they're pinned to the floor, I already won that battle. Right? So now what? Chest to chest. So it's like, yes, it's great to have this sequential order, like I clear these lines. And it's like, it's not always an order of operations to do that. Sometimes you're like, oh, equation solved. Like when we tore around a bridge on their knees, the equation is solved. Right? When I stack you up on your shoulders, that single underpass becomes really viable. But that pulling him up on the horn, kind of recent, the last couple years. Right? Just, it's not something everybody teaches or emphasizes. Makes all the sense in the world. Because what most people emphasize is they're going to go for the double ankle sweep. But if I drag my hips back, that mitigates that to an extent. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. So we've been, talking a little last week about guard pass, and we did the low single underpass, right? We got into double underpass. This mantra over, under, through, or around the legs, the guard. That's a great, sort of way to conceptualize it. Because I was joking in class the other night, but it's like, oh, passing the guard. How many years you got, right? Like, how much time do you have to listen to me talk about it? I'll tell you everything I know, right? But then it's like, we could just skip all that, and we did different styles of pass today. They were rooted in things like timing, distribution of weight, base, maintaining connection, pinning, which is, just keeping proper posture as you're moving from position to position and maintaining disconnection happens. If it does, like, how can we reconnect as quickly as possible? That's in the car.
Man, for me, with Tal, he was able to reach my head no matter what. It's just kind of like a short arm. Should I be not only connected by pulling the bicep, but should I be trying to, last week we locked him down, like kind of had our elbows here. Should I be trying to feel? Okay. So yeah, you're not relaxed. Okay.
Right, so I go over and then I pull down. So that's the connection, right? And then two, I didn't much, but I wanted to. Right? So that's another thing. When you get to playing that game, then you gotta think about that too. Right? Like that's just kinda, that is a good self-defense MMA concept. Right? Because it's face touch. It's what we're doing on the clinch entries at the beginning. Right? I was talking to McMillan about it. Because what led us, like I was going to show guard passing today anyway, and the same sort of stuff, but what led us into that beginning was just that, like, okay, yeah, we did the same thing on the ground. It's that push defense. They go over or under. If they go under, boom, we can pin, do that stand up. Right? They break your posture. Great. If you understand that Jiu Jitsu has time, and then I can do the hands in the throat and stand up at that time. Justin understands this, right? Like, you know, like I shut up to you and then you're doing it the next day, right? Just like immediately rolling, like I'm gonna break your posture. Nope, right? Like, you mean you're gonna time my technique for me, right? Like but that is the way the game is played, right? You have, like, what simplifies it is having, like, to me, what we're talking about, like today's class is a paired series. I might go single hand, I might go double hand. Right? Let's do, and then we'll go. Okay? Just how we're talking about this a little the other day, because of things that come up when he and I've been on the side discussions, right? Things that have, like, been coming up in class that he's using. And it's like all Hicks's stuff. That's why I'm fascinated to talk about it. But he's in private, he showed a counter to somebody standing up with both hands. And it, like them standing up, your counter has to have time. Right? Now, we don't cross our feet on arm bars. You're going to feel inclined to do that. But we grab and we torsion. And we're going to lift our hips up. Okay? So,
am I going 2 hands to the neck or one?
Go to. Okay. So this will just be kind of, and we'll just go through it slow at first, right? I pull him down, he goes hands on the neck, I go legs up. Right? Now, here, I'm still folded up. Remember, part of his technique of the stand-up thing is dragging my hips up off the mat. Right? So, what I want to do is engage my hips. Boom. Yeah, you be ready on the verbal tap. Yeah. So, verbal tap, that one. He's there. So this hips engaged. Sorry. You want to hips engaged. When you raise, like, all I'm doing is holding his meaty part of his thumb and raising my hips. That is it. Yeah, you might come over the face. I bet he taps before you do that. I tap. Oh, yeah, my elbow's a little used up. Yeah, see that pinch you did? Yeah.
Sorry.
It's because I'm stuck here.
You felt tight. I feel like I got a lot of space in here. You did it in such a way where
you got the pinch. I torsioned a little bit.
That's
this goes across a little bit. Yes.
Okay.
And I was like making your shoulders go like inward like that.
Okay.
With my pinch.
That's
Kind of like that, like you're about to get your back popped.
Yeah.
They break my posture.
Yeah. Got you.
Dude, and yeah, just hold and engage those hips up.
Kind of cross, but that's okay. Well, you don't know.
There you go. It's just not necessary. That inward pinch that made me tap the very bit earlier, you lose that when you cross your feet. It makes your knees go.
Okay.
Nice. Similar to the one move armbar from guard.
Yeah, oh, 100%.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
All right, let's try this. 1, 2. You guys ever seen an armbar before?
I have. I've just been doing it wrong my whole life.
Yeah.
Not wrong, just we're learning, bro.
This is
wasn't-
the
it
one,
wasn't-
this is the
maybe
one
just
like Hickson
incomplete.
busted out the gate, like the first technique we did on the ground, if I'm not mistaken. I'm bringing it there.
Is that right?
Sounded right.
I was trying to let a brother work, but at the same time, like,
Your hips are way forward back there. Bring them in line with your body.
that tap.
When you do it again, when you brought your hips up, if you bring them up from the start, it's going to be a movement.
Okay.
When he stands up, you go hips up.
Okay.
Or you go feet hips. You might,
That's it.
you might even think about shoulder walking back a little bit if he gets too much weight over the top of it.
Okay.
Right? Like not stopping to stand up. If this is like that intermediary before they do it.
Oh, I got
Okay.
this one. Yeah, I'll try for this one.
Go. Like right, go.
That's
See, there you go. See, now you just timed it. You timed it.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
That was really good.
That looks good, Howard. Hips up. Yep. Yeah, see, once you engage your hips, it comes off. It's like an esteemed gesture.
You good?
Yeah, have the old verbal tap ready there, sir. Here, I'll give you a little circle. There you go.
Just let your body jump on it.
Yeah, there it was.
I'm trying to pull him down with this foot too, right?
A little bit, yeah.
1,000 times.
The great points to massage if you get sore is this wet here, and then actually like it's usually better if you have somebody.
Huh?
Am I stepping up?
No, you're not doing anything wrong because
Like weight all tight, but
no, because you're doing a natural thing.
I just don't want to be like doing. I don't want to be doing the wrong thing, so you're not getting the option to
leave
do
the
it.
tension in your whole arm.
That's what I thought I was. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
I would always feel the pain here and think that's there's
That's
some
what I want to feel.
mild
because I
facial
want it to be
release
real.
for that it's me. So you're not sure. Yes, okay. Let me say this. I forgot. We did show
Yeah, that's what. Because yeah.
Hey, let's just say one other thing. Let's say he has, like there, like Justin tapped me like right in the center earlier. You may need to keep raising your hips and turning. So just go under the leg so they can see one time, right? Like the under the leg is a part of this, okay? Boom. Right there. Nice, and you might even have to go across the head. Like it can become a traditional arm bar and push weight with that. Through your hand, through your hamstring.
Tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slipped the elbow line, or it got slipped.
And guys, think about on my arm bar, you're doing a lot of things. Abs are coming, like, biting into them this way. But that doesn't mean I want to lose connection with my hamstring. My hamstrings are pushing you sideways as my feet come down, as my calves engage. Right? So keep that hamstring connection to their side body.
I like that.
Right? But that turning under, you may have to find yourself going for a traditional, like, I got to bring the leg across the face. And what's going to help facilitate that for you is that arm under the leg, right? And so here's my assessment, a critical thought on this. People used to go arm under the leg on the arm bar for guard, right? But in MMA, you can just get punched in the face when you do that. There's just like, I feel like that is shown considerably less, right? We talked about how last week in the fire suit, somebody just sit on their arm. I think the context on that is when somebody stands up, right? It negates some of their base, it gets your head off the line, right? So it's harder for them to hit if they're trying to, it's got some, so I think that's a conflation, thinking it's always a good idea, and when there's practice involved, but do it a couple of times with that arm under the leg. All right, once again.
Justin, you know Officer Mason's hunting me down.
Uh-oh, what'd I do?
What? I don't even know. dude.
Ossifer.
Officer.
I thought he quit. What's he hunting me down?
He's just looking for you, man.
He brought your name out, he's like, where's Justin?
He's ready for a challenge.
That's
I don't know.
That's awesome. Did he come to Friday? Is that what he did?
I think he did.
You got one. Yeah, right there. Yes. Now you can kind of re-hip up if you